Compost. What is compost? Compost is an extra rich soil that is made up of dead plants and other organic materials. In plain English, I will show you why composting is great for the environment and how you can build and use your own compost pile. Sometimes people have misconceptions about composting. They think it smells bad or that it attracts pests like mice or roaches or raccoons. But the truth is, if you do it right, you can have a nutritious fuel to feed your garden without the stink or the critters. But first, let's talk about the advantages of managing a compost pile. First, because you'll likely use a lot of food scraps from the kitchen and grass clippings and dead leaves from your yard, you will have a lot less garbage. Right now, garbage is getting tossed into landfills because there's nowhere else to put it. Eventually, we'll run out of places to bury our garbage. So having compost is like recycling in a whole new way. Another great thing about compost is the nutrients that it puts into your soil. As leaves and scraps from the kitchen decompose, they bind with other chemicals in the mixture to form complex vitamins and minerals that are needed by the plants you grow in your garden. So compost is good for your tomato plants too. So how do you get a compost pile started? There are lots of fancy containers out there now. Special composters that turn, flip, and rotate are pretty popular because one of the keys to having successful compost is to keep it moving around regularly. But really, you don't need much to start a compost pile except a small space in your backyard and a pitchfork. Some people like to make a three-sided box for it out of wood or bricks, with one side open for easy access to the pile. Next, you need to have materials to put into your pile. It's important to know that you can't just toss all your kitchen scraps out your back window. There are certain things that should not go into your compost because they will stink and they will attract critters. This means animal products like meat or dairy cannot be composted. But your compost pile also can't be made up of nothing but kitchen scraps either. The best compost piles have a mix of many different organic materials, including kitchen scraps like fruit and vegetable waste, coffee grounds and eggshells, grass clippings, and dead leaves. It also helps to add a little bit of dirt or some already decomposed compost from a friend. So, once you have your compost pile started, then what do you do with it? Well, there are a couple of key things that compost needs in order to break down. One of those things is air, which means that every couple of days you have to go out to your pile and turn it with a pitchfork, or rotate it if you have a composter bin. Another thing that helps compost to break down is night crawlers. The way worms slither through the materials helps to keep air circulating, which helps the material to break down faster. This way, you can have usable compost in as little as 8 weeks. You can tell your compost is ready when it looks like a deep, dark-colored soil. And once you have your compost ready, what do you do with it? Well, you put it in your garden, of course. You just mix it in with the dirt and water it, and your plants will get all those nutrients fed to them that you helped create. And that is how you make compost.